Okay, first myth. It's hard to find quality data. Right, I'm really delighted to bust this myth open. And it's really sensible to start with this one, as really it's arguably one of the most important. You can have the most advanced platform, the right reach, spend a lot of time on thinking about what you want to ask. But if the data quality is low, then everything else is pretty pointless. So how do you get good quality in an online survey? Well, there are two areas to think about. Firstly, you want good quality respondents. That's a given. But even a genuine respondent can give you bad data if the survey is not set up to make it easy to answer your questions. Therefore, you need a two-pronged approach. You need a provider that undertakes a multitude of quality checks to weed out those respondents who are not genuine or paying attention, but you also need an elegantly crafted survey. So let's start by looking at the audience checks that need to go on behind the scenes. There are three categories of checks. The first we call impossible checks. This doesn't mean the check is impossible. It means the respondent is exhibiting impossible behaviour, so rushing through at lightning speed, giving contradicting demographics. These are things that are obvious and should be picked up. The next category is a bit trickier. We call them improbable checks. So where the respondent's behaviour is unlikely, but not impossible. So claiming that you do everything. I like all these things. I've listened to all these things. I buy all these things. And of course, the opposite. I've done none of these things. I've never done that. We're also looking for patterns in the answers. For example, always selecting the same response in the same place. And you really need machine learning to understand which of these respondents need to be removed. Finally, we've got behavioural checks. That's removing the gibberish and nonsensical answers people put in open text responses. At Attest, all of these are checked by the human eye. So, once we've got all these respondents removed, we're confident that our remaining respondents are genuine and paying attention. But it doesn't end there, as you, the researcher, experienced or not, have a part to play. I talked about respecting the respondents. It's not the respondent's job to work out what we as drafters are trying to ask. So you have to be clear and unambiguous. Don't ask too many questions in one. Definitely don't be boring, and guide them through the survey. The French have a phrase, excuse my French here, trop de choix, tout le choix. Too much choice kills the choice. And therefore, too many answer options can lead to indecision and confusion. Finally, you need to avoid bias, a whole webinar in itself. I'm always happy to share further information about this with you, but generally think about, are you getting your respondents to agree with you? Are you leading them? Are you giving away who you are? All these kind of things need to be avoided, and here at ACE, we're here to help.